Hey guys! How are you doing today? My name is Witchy Tale and welcome to the Cupcake Coven. How's everyone's day going? I thought that I would just sit down and have a chat with you guys today because I feel like we haven't talked properly in a while. So I just wanted to do a chatty stream. Well, it's not gonna be too long, although sometimes I say that and then I go on and on. But yeah, so we can just chill and stuff. Y'all know 2020 has been a show. It's been terrible. But a few good things have happened lately, so I figured I'd share with you guys because we should celebrate each little achievement, you know, especially when things aren't going very well. Story time. I have a crazy neighbor update, okay? So if by any chance you are new here, I had a crazy neighbor. It was a whole situation. You can find the story actually on my YouTube channel because I have part 1, which is when our crazy neighbor tried to kill us, and then I have part 2 over there as well, which is, I think it says something like why we had to move so fast or something like that. So those are the 2 parts. But if you're caught up, you know, and I have good updates. So first of all, the other apartment complex found new tenants. Woo! And that's really good because we were technically having to continue paying the rent over there, as well as over here, up until they found new tenants. So they did, and they're moving in, I believe, like the 9th or something. Therefore, we have stopped paying. So in the end, and I know that, you know, rent prices vary a lot from state to state, city to city, so on and so forth. We were paying over there $800 plus 24 the covered parking. So it was $820. It was a tiny 2-bedroom apartment. And I know some people might say,
"Ooh, that's super cheap."
Other people might say,
"Ooh, that's super expensive."
It just really depends, you know. But we were able to pay, I guess, when we left, I guess 1 month and 1/3 more rent rather than paying like I guess we had like 7 months left or something. So in that sense, it's a win because, you know, it's good. Muffin Wizard says, woot woot. Astrid said, it's a decent price. 2-bed, 2-bath apartment out where I live is $1,200. Yeah, exactly. That was actually a really good deal that we got at the time. And when we moved in, I believe it was a lot lower. It was like $650 or $720, something like that. And it had gradually gone up. And in fact, this year it was supposed to go up to like $900. And then at the very last minute, they changed it back because I think with COVID, like no one was renting anymore. So we were like, oof, you know? That's really good because we would have had to have paid technically $6,400. And then when we talked to him, when we were just concerned about the neighbor being aggressive and loud and stuff, he had said,
"Well, I'll let you go for half, 3,200."
Right? Which again, compared to 6,000 is pretty good, but still it's a lot of money that we don't have. And after that was that the actual attack happened with the nails and stuff. And so he said that as long as like we continued paying the rent, even though we don't live there, he would make an effort to find a new tenant quick, and we would just have to pay that amount. And that is why we ended up paying for a month and a third, which it sucks, but it could have been a lot worse. And I think it's pretty fair because, you know, to give them a 30-day notice. But yeah, I mean, of course, I feel like they should have maybe worked with us a little bit more just because it was a situation that it wasn't us wanting to leave. It was like basically we were chased out. And like vandalism / misdemeanors and stuff, potentially crimes were happening against us, but oh well. But yeah, man, neighbors can be such a pain, right? Like, I just wish everyone could live in peace and just get along and be respectful to each other, but that is not the world we live in, unfortunately. At the same time, like I had kind of mentioned before, I do feel like, in a way, the office manager did what he was able to do to help us. So I'm really, really grateful for that. And I just hope that the people who took over our apartment will not suffer the same things from the crazy downstairs neighbor. But who knows? Unfortunately, we're not allowed to like go and warn them or anything. So, you know, it's Russian roulette out there when you rent an apartment. She said, hopefully your landlord warns them. Yeah, and like, as I kind of mentioned in those videos, like, he didn't have a problem just like with us. It's not like we went down and like had a fight with him. He was fighting with everyone except that we just put in a call for the noise complaint to like the proper security people, whereas other people just straight up went to his door and like started screaming at him and like picking fights. So I mean, eventually I guess they're gonna get so many complaints that hopefully that person is kicked out or at least has some kind of consequence, but you never know. Regarding the police report, nothing ever happened with that, but again, I just think it was good to have it for documentation purposes. So in the future, if he does that to other people, they can see, oh, it's not the first time he's done this, and so on and so forth. So, but yeah, we paid everything that we needed to pay, and we are finally like 100% finished with that. So, hallelujah. Yeah. So that is where we are regarding the apartment lease. Now, the other good thing that happened is that our car lease was almost over as well during this time of the year, and we ended up going and getting a new car lease. We negotiated so much and got basically a brand new car for the same price. It's just a couple dollars more a month, and yeah, so that was really good because we were gonna have to return the car regardless. And it was gonna be more expensive to like buy out the car or to return the car than to just get a new lease. So we just got a new lease. This is a little bit of a longer story, okay? So when we got this first car lease, it's the first time the Muffin Wizard and I got a car. We wanted both of our names on the lease because the whole point was that, well, first of all, his old car had broken over and over again, and it was just going to be cheaper to get a new one, basically. But the whole point was that we could build our credit scores up slowly, you know? And what happened is that they put both of our names on it, and then they said,
yeah, you can take the car, it's yours, like it's 100% approved.
And I said,
are you sure it's 100% approved?
Because I don't want to take the car out of this dealership if you guys are not sure. They're like,
yeah, absolutely, like look at these papers, blah, blah, blah.
So we left with the car. And then guess what? The next day they're like,
actually, his credit is not as good, so we can't put both of you guys' name on the lease.
And I was like, that was the whole point. And by then we couldn't take the car back, you know? And they basically lied to us and manipulated us, so we would just take the car. Therefore, we were pretty upset with that, but, you know, we needed a car anyway, so we just went with it. The Muffin Wizard said, oh my god, the brakes on my old car were terrible. Yeah, his brakes basically stopped working at a highway intersection, so that was very dangerous, and that's why we had to get a new one. Aside from multiple other incidents where, you know, the brakes were just not good. Not the brakes, several things were breaking in the car, but yeah. So, regardless of that situation, we were loyal, we paid our car payments on time every month, everything like that. And then this time, I told the guy, hey, this is what happened last time. It was a different guy who, by the way, quit the very next day after signing our lease. So I don't know if that's just the curse that we carry around, that people, you know, leave their jobs the next day, or if maybe he just filed everything because he was like, F it, you know? So I don't really know what happened there, but this time this guy assured us, like, that's not gonna happen, because I said I'm gonna be very upset if it happens again. I don't want to be tricked. I will not take the car. until it is 100% certain. And so we had like the financial guy come over and talk to us and show us some other like more official papers, so on and so forth. And then it was approved. So we both were finally on the lease. And, you know, if I'm being completely honest, last time I did have jobs here and there. I didn't have a job the full amount of time that the lease lasted, which was like 3 years. So the Muffin Wizard actually paid more for it while I was like doing other projects here in the house and stuff. But like technically he paid for it and it was under my name. So it wasn't very fair that I was getting all the credit. I mean, at the end of the day, it's both of our things and everything, but still, you know, the whole point was to build our credit. And, but now, thanks to the new lease, we have been able to build our credit a little bit. And his went up like, I'd say like 80 points or something, which is really good. Which means that we may be able to apply for a credit card. And by the way, I do not like crazy spending. I'm a very, very frugal person. So if we were to get a credit card, it's just to put like one of our bills on it so we can pay off the credit card and therefore build our credit even more. But I'm not going to use it to like just buy stuff, you know. But yeah, so that was good because finally our credit scores have gone up a little bit. And, you know, no one was giving us a credit card before, and it was kind of crazy because the credit wasn't that bad, you know. Actually, mine was excellent, his was good or okay. But now that might happen, and therefore we could start building our credit a little bit more. Yeah, I know all this talk about credits and leases is boring, but it's adult stuff and you gotta do it, you know, because unfortunately here, if you don't have a car, you can't function. Like where I used to live, you really didn't need a car because you would just do everything by bus. And yeah, it was a bit of a hassle and all that, but you got really used to it, and that was just how things worked. No one had cars. I mean, no one like my age at the time or anything. Cars do exist and people have cars, but you know, it wasn't a common thing for young adults to have cars. So, but here where we live, there's the public transportation is, while the quality is better, like the buses themselves have like air conditioning and heat, the quantity is a lot less. So it's like a bus every hour or a bus every hour and a half. Astrid said, I hear that. Yeah. And, it's the distances are a lot farther as well because I used to live in a very, very big metropolis where everything was nearby. But here it's like, you know, you want to go to supermarket and I mean, you can't walk there. It's impossible, you know? So yeah, that is why we had to invest in that as well. Okay, sorry, I've been talking a lot. Do you guys have any updates at the moment of anything you'd like to share? You want to share with our class today? You can share.